If you're watching this video, you may be wondering, why do I attract jealous friends? First of all, let me start by saying that feelings of jealousy are completely normal to a certain degree in any close relationship, not just friendship or romantic relationships. It could happen in work relationships or anything really. And I believe personally that these feelings are passing emotions, sort of just if you keep calm, they'll pass, in healthy relationships. And some psychologists even believe that jealousy can be a tool for maintaining friendships in the face of like third-party threats. So according to a very recent study by Krems and others, which you can check out because I cited the link below in the description, this study proposes that friendship jealousy specifically, can and does ultimately motivate behavior to counter like third-party threats. So it does work in the sense of it protects the friendship with the other person. That little bit of jealousy can trigger behaviors that make you reach out more to that friend or kind of like solidify your friendship. It can feel bad for you or the other person. It does serve a purpose, which is a good one technically, which is maintaining the friendship. But jealousy taken to the extreme can be very destructive in any relationship. And I just want to start by saying that while answering this question, I realized there's really like two types of jealousy in a friendship. Like there's type 1, which is when friends are jealous of sharing you with other people, like they're jealous because they're that friend that wants to keep you all to themselves. Or type 2, when friends are jealous of you as a person, like they're jealous of what you have, what they lack, and compare themselves to you. Okay, so first of all, how do you know that your friend is jealous? Well, it's pretty easy to tell if it's type 1 jealousy, which means that your friend is very jealous and doesn't want to share you with other people, whether that's your friends, your family, your partner, like romantic partner. They'll probably act like a jealous, possessive boyfriend. They might even be upset that you're hanging out with other friends. They might call more often or try to get your attention by acting out so that you either pay them more attention or hang out with them more. Depending on the level of jealousy, you probably want to reconsider this friendship. But if you are always attracting this kind of friend and like this, why do you attract this kind of jealous friend? You might want to think about noticing red flags earlier in the friendship and seek out people who have healthy levels of self-esteem. Some basic ways of finding out if a potential friend has a healthy level or healthy-ish level of self-esteem, in my experience, has been asking yourself these questions. Is this person extremely codependent? Do they have any other friends, any at all, that they're close with? Are they able to give you space when you ask for it? And do they sound like they're focused on their life and their goals? Like, do they have dreams that they talk about? Are there things that they're looking to achieve? Because a healthy person has her own interests and is focused on their life more than other people's. With type 2 jealousy, which can be more difficult to pick up and notice, and this is the jealousy where they're jealous of you as a person, which is more like envy. People can learn to hide envy so well that it is really hard to prove that a friend is envious of you. But I think a certain level of envy is normal to some degree, just like a little bit of jealousy in a friendship might be somewhat normal. You can't really escape a human reaction to or from others if you have something or something is going well for you that is specifically not going well for them or that they don't have at the moment. According to the research paper, The Evolutionary Psychology of Envy and Jealousy by Sarah Hill and David Buss, which I will link to in the description. Humans experience envy because it's enabled us to evaluate our position in the competition for resources. So social comparison is kind of like the only way we know how, like, what we lack compared to other people, like, because they're doing better than us, and then we evaluate what resources we need to take or what we even want. So apparently, also, humans are most envious of those that they see as similar to themselves. So somebody who is the most similar, in theory, would be somebody that you're the most envious of. So you wouldn't be envious of like somebody you had no chance being, like somebody out of your league that you think you'll never be that person, but somebody very similar to you who's doing a little bit better, that's the person you're going to be jealous of, which is actually why a theory behind why a lot of people who win second place in competitions are very upset compared to the person who wins third place, who is actually very satisfied and happy. But anyways, it's almost like this is saying, the research is saying that your friend is bound to be envious of you at one point or another. And if you are succeeding in one small area of your life where they're maybe not doing so great, but this can be healthy in a way because it can hopefully motivate your friend to work harder in that area and push them to succeed in that area and improve that part of their life. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be in that boat where you're a little bit envious of your friend, like, oh, how come their career is taken off, or, you know, their partnership is going so well, and then you want to work on yourself, and it really motivates you when you're struggling in an area of your life. So it can be healthy competition, as they say. However, if the jealousy is too much and it becomes unhealthy, that's when you should start to worry. So for example, if your friend is secretly resenting you and it's hard to find signs of resentment, but it could look something like maybe they're always liking your stuff on Instagram or social media, but all of a sudden they stop liking your pictures. Or maybe like as soon as you go on vacation, they don't like your pictures when you're on vacation, but when you're back, they keep liking them. Or when you post something that's really cool that they would want to do, but they're not able to. I know that might not be the case for most people. It's just an example. But other signs can be as subtle as your friend never asks about things that are going well for you, like your job or your romantic relationship. If it's going well, they basically only ask when they know that there's drama going on or you're struggling in that area. Or maybe even they do ask about that area, but as soon as they do and you're answering, they sort of tune out. And when you're talking about your successes, it's a very monotone, like, like very like bland response, because they're not really, or you feel as though they're not really listening. Of course, you have to see if they do this more than once, because everybody has a bad day where they just can't listen. But you have to see if it's like a consistent pattern. That way you can maybe point to the evidence that they do have some kind of unhealthy envy for you. And if you feel like the resentment is seeping into the friendship and they don't treat you the same, or you don't feel the same anymore, it might be time to reconsider the friendship. However, just like with the other types of friendship jealousy that we talked about, you might have to consider, why do you always attract jealous friends? And you probably are wondering, why do I attract jealous friends? That's why you're watching this video. Well, I can tell you that there are some things you can do to prevent that in the future. So for potential friends, it's always going to be, my advice is always going to be the same. Basically, try to notice the red flags earlier in the friendship. Seek out people who have healthy self-esteem, For instance, is this person codependent? Do they have any other friends? Can they give you space if you ask for it? And do they sound like they have their own goals and dreams and things that they want to achieve? And that's pretty much kept my sanity with friendships and jealousy these past few years. So I hope that comes to help you. And I hope that you end up having amazing friendships that you want to have and stop attracting jealous friends.